Hello and welcome to the First Crack Preview, Round 6. Gather Round was massive. Now we're back into the regular season and it is up at the Gabba Thursday night, tomorrow night. First versus fourth, Brisbane and Collingwood, as I welcome Lee Montagna and David King. Welcome, boys.
Hello, Dicko. Gather Round was bigger for some.
It was massive. We've recovered. We're back into Round 6, which
what are you
kicks
saying?
off.
Oh, some had bigger gather rounds than others.
Yeah, I got the votes. That's what he's trying to say. 3, 2, 1 across here. Let's have a look at the ins and outs. So Brisbane made the two changes. Marshall and Tunstall come in for McLaughlin and Revel. And I don't think there's a big surprise there. Brisbane are 5-0 and flying at the moment. But let's take a look at Collingwood and their changes. So the big one is De Goey comes in from memory, who's being managed. So that is a significant in for Collingwood.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah, I mean, he's a match winner, Jordan De Goey. It'd be interesting to see how fit he is and what he's capable of and the amount of minutes that he plays. But that's a big upgrade and they're going to go into this game pretty confident.
And the history between these two teams is reasonably close, Kingy.
Yeah, I think the Pies have got a pretty good record in the last few meetings and they match up well. It's sort of funny what they do is take away Brisbane's strength a little bit, but I don't want Fags to text me, so I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. But it should be a cracking game.
That'll be a beauty. And Joey, kick it off. First crack.
Yeah, we'll stay with that game because I think it is the biggest game of the round, Easter Thursday, two great clubs. And I think the Brisbane Lions need to be applauded for continuing to overcome the obstacles that they've faced this year. So we spoke a lot about the pre-season, the injuries, the interruptions with what went on there. They ticked that box. They've proven there's no premiership letdown. They're 5-0 to start the season. They've ticked that box. And the other big question coming into the season was how would they go without Joe? Life without Joe, and I think so far what we've seen is they've answered that question, that it is no problems at all. And I was concerned about it. We know how big of a loss he was going to be, but the way they've been able to do it by committee and share the load, I think is making them more difficult to play against because there's an unpredictability with their forward line now, and they have still got so much talent that any one of them on any given day can bob up. So when you look so far this season, round one, it was Zach Bailey with 4 goals that was a leading goal kicker. Callum Archie in round 2. They had 10 players kick 1 goal in the game against Geelong in the wet. Charlie Cameron kicked 3 last week, and then Eric Hipwood with 5 on the weekend. So I just think that for an opposition, it is very hard to work out where you're going to try and put your attention towards because all of them are capable of marking the ball inside 50. I mean, those names that I mentioned, we haven't even spoken about Rayner. Kai Lohmann's still got to come back into the side. And when you take a look at the numbers, so here they are for the marks inside 50. Only Geelong and Brisbane have 5 players in the top 50 in the competition for marks inside. But notice, none of them in the top 20. So none of them are standing out, but they're sharing the load. And they're all more than capable on their day. And same when you take a look at the targets inside 50, they're the only team in the competition that have 4 players in the top 50 for being targeted. So they are finding different avenues to goal. They're finding ways, as I said, Kai Lohmann to come back into this side. I really like the way it's going. And the scary part is, King, and the numbers will say, there's still room to move. Their efficiency inside 50 is actually not that great. But they're averaging a goal a game more than they were in their premiership year last year. They're kicking almost 100 points a game. And they've only worked together as a group for 5 or 6 weeks. We spoke about a limited pre-season. The more they play together, the more the rest of the midfield get to work and understand this group. I think it's going to become pretty potent for them.
They're polar opposites to last year.
Yeah.
Last year they had great numbers and were losing at the start of the year. And we all said, be patient, or we didn't all say it, but the numbers said be patient and they'll come good. This year, they're winning and the numbers are actually quite mediocre.
Yeah.
So there's 2 ways of looking at it. Does this continue? Does the winning form continue? And I think we find out tomorrow night. It's a huge clash for both parties and maybe we'll learn a bit more.
It's one of the best defences in the competition at the moment in the Pies.
And I think, to your point, Joey, on the weekend was a prime example. So Eric Hipwood had 1 disposal in the first half and they had other options. They held themselves. They did go down to a fair margin at half-time, but then they started to be a little bit more accountable to the other forwards. Eric Hipwood bobs up with 5. So I think that chaos is working.
Why don't they score from centre bounce? If they've got the forwards that are in tune and winning contests, they particularly did in that third quarter last week, one of the best quarters they've had for a long time, plus 10 in terms of contested possession differential in their forward 50. Why aren't they scoring? They've scored 3 goals from 69 centre bounce clearances.
What do you make of centre bounce goals though? Are they just are they quirks? Is it system? Is it just talent? Is it just winning contests because it's 6 1-on-ones?
I think that's where they are missing, Joe. If I am to put a little asterisk, where you going?
The wheels have come off.
If they are missing, Joe, I think it's in that aspect only. From centre bounce clearances, but they've got to find. I think that'll correct itself. It's probably an anomaly, but it's worth having a look at.
If they get that right, they'll be undefeated all year.
Okay,
but they can all mark the ball inside 50, and their ball movement takes them a long way because they are so good at moving the ball.
Yeah.
They do find other avenues.